welcome everyone to episode 4 of Grit and Grace. I'm here with my homie Zach Seager. Zach's very well known in the door-to-door industry, obviously. In my opinion, just holds the record for the industry record for pest control. He sold 1.5 million in one summer, which is, if anyone knows, that is cracked. It's almost impossible if you think about it. And then 4-time Golden Door regional at the Grit, and just like straight winner. So thanks.
Thanks for having me on, dude.
Yeah, dude. I really appreciate it. And then he rolled up fully outfitted.
Got the boots on and everything, dude.
What
Just
time
when,
did you? So where were you? What were you doing before this?
I went touring up at Alta. So me and my buddy Jackson Keaton just hiked up to the top of the mountain at Alta and then skied down and woke up at 5 and I'm here.
That's crazy. Yeah, just rolled up boots, Arc'teryx, just everything. Pretty you though. I feel like that's pretty.
Yeah, I like Arc'teryx. I like the mountain vibe.
Yeah,
so
no, that's dope.
I'm for sure more of like a mountain guy than like a beach guy.
Yeah, because I remember
I've started to realize.
You were in California and we were texting. You were like, "Dude, I'm ready to come back." He's like, "I'm done with the beach."
Yeah, I love California, but it's just different. So.
Do you still have guys out there?
Yeah. We have Ricky and then Jay Kurt. They live out there. They live on Newport Beach.
And then they're kind of just leading.
They run and recruit and run their whole program out there.
That's
great.
Sick. That's sick. Yeah, well, dude, I'm like stoked, like super stoked. This is one of my most exciting ones. For me, like having you on is like important to me because it's like, I mean, we message each other. I talk about winning, and like for everyone listening to the podcast, it's like there's like few people in my life that I can like reach out to and talk about winning in such a raw and like almost like a way that only some people would really understand. And like you get it.
It's different, dude. You for sure have to be, right? Like Tim Grover talks about just a cleaner. And so like the first time I read that book, dude, I was like, there's other people who think like this. Like this is weird. Like other people think the way I think. So it's weird for me to read that book.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I wanted to go into like just like you, and I wanted you to introduce yourself, period. Just like who you are, your story, how'd you, just everything. Like just introduce yourself.
From when?
Just like literally everything. Like who is Zach Seager?
Yeah.
Where you're born, just everything. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Grew up in Sandy, Utah. Grew up. The reason I'm in full ski stuff, I've been skiing since I was probably 3 or 4. So since I could basically walk, I've been skiing. Was sponsored pretty much head to toe in high school for skiing. Then I went and played college soccer in Montana for a year. Transferred back to Utah State. Just the social life in Montana wasn't amazing. I did fall in love with fly fishing up there, though. So now I fly fish on the weekends. And then went on a Mormon mission to Chile for a year and a half. And then COVID hit, sent me home. My cousin married one of the regionals at Grit. His name is Michael. He recruited me. And then that summer I went out with Michael and sold like 400 accounts, made almost $100,000, and it was like totally life-changing. And it almost like spoiled me because I was like, I'll never work like a 9 to 5 ever again after that summer. And then the next summer, went out and managed a team on my own in Cincinnati, Ohio. I sold 1,000 accounts, and my team did like about $3 million, and that was like amazing. My third summer, I sold almost 1.1. It was like $1,070,000, whatever it was. And my team did like $6 million. That was fun, amazing. And then last year, my team did like 11 million. I did like 1.5. And this year, our team grew a ton, and we did 25 million. And because the program grew so much, I just didn't have as much time to sell, and I sold about 500K. So that's me, I guess, in a nutshell. I got married to my sweet, beautiful wife, Kennedy. Forgot to mention that. But she's the best.
Yeah.
Biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
So.
What would you say, like, as far as production, as far as just you as a person, and as far as even, like, Kennedy, I kind of want to dip into, like, the relationship side of things, but the relationship in correlation with what you do with your work. Because I think there is, like, seasons of imbalance, and there's seasons of more balance and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When people like, and I'm gonna get raw with this one, like people talk, and I don't know what inspires me to talk about this, but especially people not at the grit, I think their go-to shot, which is kind of gnarly, is, oh, when you join the grit, you get divorced. When you join the grit, you do this and this. What are your thoughts on like that with your relationship and that kind of thing?
I mean, I haven't heard that, but I've been like out of like the whole. I've kind of been out of the whole dating grit scene, I guess,
Yeah.
because I've been married for almost 2 years. But no, dude, like me and Kennedy's relationship is amazing. Like I called her this morning driving down from Alta, and I'm like, our life is amazing. Yeah, it's way hard, and there's different challenges with it, but like it's amazing. We have everything we could ever want, and there's zero financial imbalance with us. And then spiritually and emotionally and physically, we get to choose what we want to do when we want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think where people get in trouble, right, is they're not intentional. And that's where your relationship can get in trouble. Because even for me, dude, like if I don't weekly plan, like Sunday plan, like Casey Baugh does,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't, set aside time, then my whole calendar will fill up. And I'm not intentional with Kennedy, and it hurts our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to be diligent, and I have to be disciplined on setting aside time to be with her, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
no, for sure.
but yeah, I could see where people would see that. It's a lot of it's a demanding job, right? You work a lot of hours.
Yeah,
So.
no, for sure. It's interesting that even with the grit, just in general, like when people see people winning, it's interesting how
Yeah.
there's like, because I remember you even telling
Totally,
me there was rumors like even in your 1.5 million that like you were like having strippers or something, like the craziest, like, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because the the Canadians that I know at
Yeah.
Vantage Canada, since I'm the only one that's joined the grit, I hear a lot of this,
Chatter,
like a
yeah.
lot of like weird things, and I'm like, what the heck, like,
Just nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So I wanna walk through kind of like your summers, but more importantly, this idea of winning.
Cool.
And how you view winning, and what have you always had the like sheer kind of like almost like such an intense mind? Has that always been for you?
Yeah, always, since I was like just a baby, dude. Like I remember playing in the backyard. I played college soccer, right? And so I remember like growing up in the backyard and being like pissed off if I got, because we'd play like World Cup, right? And
Mm-hmm.
if I got out, dude, I'd be so upset and like so pissed off. And so then the next day I would go and wake up early and go and shoot at the soccer field near my house. And so I remember, or I started a lawn mowing business, and I remember like door knocking when I was like 12 or 13, starting it up and passing out cards and like trying to sign people up. And I'd be stoked after like getting a new client and all these things. And skiing, like I remember going to there's this place that has a trampoline and like a ski ramp.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember all my friends learned how to backflip on like skis before me. And I remember that like was frustrating for me. And I wanted to like learn and progress and become a better athlete.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, I've always been obsessed with just winning and becoming like a better human. So.
Wow. Yeah, no, because some people, I think it takes time for them to kind of click into that, and then there's some people that are just like since a young age.
Totally.
And I resonate with that for sure. And then so for you, I remember talking when I was in Omaha, and I was having some crazy things happen midsummer, and just all the health stuff kind of going on. And I remember texting you, and like you actually talking to me about your summer in Cincinnati, and how everyone probably views your 1.5 million summer as like the craziest. But you were telling me how your Cincinnati summer was actually your proudest summer that you've done. I kind of want to hear about that, which a lot of people listening would probably be like, what? Like, why that summer, you know?
Yeah, like I did 800K, like only, right? And the reason, dude, I'm so
like only 800K, yeah.
like the reason, dude, I'm so proud of that summer is so many of like my coworkers or so many of my peers had like the same dream as I had. Like they had the same hopes and ambitions of selling 1,000 accounts, because that's what we talked about. Like that was back in, when was that? 2021.
Yeah.
It was 21. Back then, like 650 wasn't a thing. Like it wasn't, That's why I stopped. If you look, I didn't do 800K in rev. I did like 793. Like, because like
it was
all the
account based,
incentives were
wasn't
all off accounts, right? And so I remember, dude, like, certain people, dude, finished at like 800, 840. Like there was a person at Grip Marketing who finished at like 880 accounts, and like he was above me like on the summer, and he went home in August because of like burnout. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna go and like totally quote unquote like snatch his soul and pass him. I'm gonna sell 1,000 accounts, and it's gonna set me up for like my career. But I remember like that was one of the hardest things. Like I packed my truck one day, like it was fully packed. Called Garth. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm coming home. Like I'm done.
What time was this at? Like, walk me kind of through to the start of that summer, the 1,000
Yeah.
account summer. Kind of just go through the whole thing.
First 2 weeks we were in Waco, Texas. I sold 60 account weeks, so I was at like 120 in 2 weeks, and I was like,
So you were rolling. You were like, oh
dude.
yeah, I'm ready.
I was like, this is easy.
Because it's interesting. In the start of the summer, and people don't realize, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm kind of warming up. Start of the summer, no, you're like,
I'm hot.
You
I'm
usually
always
start,
hot.
yeah.
Always. Then we moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, and that was like always the plan. We showed up. It was my first time ever managing a team. So like, I didn't coordinate. We showed up a week early. There was no technicians ready for us. The branch wasn't ready. One of the technicians like sprayed like the wrong chemical inside somebody's house. I then like told the homeowner like we'll send a new technician out. GreenX then sent out the same technician. The homeowner was pissed. Totally got in my head. It was pouring rain. It was freezing cold.
And that's in the start when you're managing and
all the things, right?
Just little things are piling up, and you're just like.
Ben Egan was like managing my team in Waco for me when I was there, and like that's partly why I was able to just rip and like not have to worry about a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was also coaching me and grooming me and like helping me become the best manager I could. But I didn't realize it because like it was just easy for me to go and sell, right? And then when I got to Cincy, dude, it was just me. And like it was just nuts.
So it was
dude.
Just you when you went to Cincinnati.
So yeah, I was there, and then Michael got there a week after I got there.
And he brought his team?
He brought his guys, yeah. And so it was crazy, dude. So I remember that first week, dude, I sold like 17 accounts. I'll never forget, 17. And it was probably the worst. Like I remember crying.
No way, dude. It's crazy you're saying this because that was my exact experience moving to Cincy from Texas. Nuts. I sold in I went to Cincy, one of my worst weeks ever. And I remember, I want to hear about that,
So yeah, totally like balling on the curb. Garth was
so
like,
crazy,
Garth is still my guy.
Yeah.
But like back then, dude, me and Garth were like tight. Like Garth ran every recruiting meeting for me that year. He was my manager the year before, my rookie year. He was, he married me and Kennedy. Like he's one of my best friends. But like back then, dude, I would call Garth. Like if you ask Garth or John how many times I called Garth that year, dude, it was probably 8 times a day. Like it was nuts, dude. Like, and I would even call him just to hype myself up. It's like, it's weird. But like, anyway, so I remember calling Garth and being like, dude, I'm done. Like I'm going back to Texas. We're going to go sell with, whoever EnviroGuard. Like we're going to go back, sell with EnviroGuard. I've told all the boys, like totally like big L, like managing mistake, right? Because I fed into the narrative that like Cincinnati was not a good market. And then Michael showed up. The next week, I think I sold 30. The next week, I think I sold like 35, 40, and I slowly ramped. And then at the end, dude, I was selling 80 weeks in Cincy and like was totally ripping. And like that's where I sold 1,000 accounts. Mm-hmm. So that was like, and the reason that summer is so special, dude, like it made me a man. Like it put, right? People say like the chest hairs on me. Like I became like that guy that summer. So
crazy. And then
nuts.
So at the end of the summer, I remember people don't really hear this story, but kind of talk to me about like what happened when people started to leave, and like you flew your dad out, and like just like I want to hear.
Basically, dude, like at the end of the summer, I remember it was just me, dude. Like everybody was home. We had actually partnered with Aptiv at this point. Like it's September, dude. Like I started knocking that year like early March. Like because it was the first year of Grip Marketing. We wanted to go and like prove that we were like Alabama was like the idea of that summer. Mm-hmm. And we had whatever it was, 14 golden doors that year, and it was amazing. And or 11 golden doors that summer. And I remember, dude, I was out there and there was a hurricane or it was raining super hard, dude. Like my Segway was underwater. And like I remember the demons just being like, dude, why are you out here? Like you've already made
When is this? This is
end of September.
and then people are already gone,
They're
right?
gone, dude. Like
And have you transitioned from GreenX to Active at this point?
no.
You're still at GreenX.
Still with GreenX, but like Aptive, we've signed the contract to partner with Aptive this upcoming summer.
Yeah.
And for me, dude, that was just like a weird thing like back then, right? And we love Aptive and they've been amazing and I have nothing good to say about them, but like back then,
You have nothing good to say about them?
No, sorry, I have nothing bad to say about Aptive.
Okay,
sorry.
Whoa, this is dope. I was like, okay.
No, I have nothing bad to say about Aptive. They've been amazing, right? But back then, like the narrative was not that way. Like we didn't like Aptive back then, and so like for me that was a weird thing. But anyway, so then my technician went home.
Mm-hmm.
And then I called my dad and I was like, yo, would you want to come out here and like service my last accounts? And he's like, oh yeah, dude, I'll fly out there. So he flew out. We put him in a GreenX truck. He serviced my last, whatever it was, 5 or 6 accounts. And we drove home that day together. Like, I remember he showed up. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to do it tomorrow. He's like, okay. He got in the truck. He had no idea what he was doing. And then sold all the accounts within, I think I was done within 2 hours of like, I sold 5 accounts, done. And then went and serviced all the jobs with him. And he's just talking to the customers and I'm servicing all the jobs.
You're doing the jobs.
Yeah. So, but it was rad, dude. It was fun, like way special moment, way grateful for my dad. He's like my hero. I like will never forget that moment. Like he was de-webbing homes. He actually got stung by wasps. Like it's like one of my core memories with my dad.
Just ask him to fly out to finish your jobs because you didn't have a technician.
He's the best, dude.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
That's so insane. And then as far as you in like, the balance between like leadership and doing something for yourself, where is that? Because I mean, we both love Tim Grover, and he talks about winning selfish.
Yeah.
Like winning does require all of you.
Yeah.
How is that? Because we even talked about this last summer, and we could get a little bit raw too with this. Is this last summer was probably pretty hard for you in a certain way.
Way hard.
In an aspect of you were the guy. You
Yeah.
did 1.5 million. Everyone knows your name. It's mentioned. Your name's mentioned. Meetings. Your name's always mentioned. You go from 1.5 to not even hitting a golden door, but 5, which
Yeah.
whatever. But like, what was that like? This last summer, how was that?
Hard, like way hard. Right.
Walk me through it, because people don't probably know. People are probably wondering, did Seager just die off? Like, is he just not good anymore?
We recruited, like, I mean, right, we went from 11 million to 25 million. So we more than doubled, right? We grew like a lot. And when you grow that much, ideally, right, you recruit a bunch of leaders and you have grown a bunch of leaders in the program, but we didn't have enough leaders. And so I had to do a lot more than I was expecting to do. And it was just weird, dude. It was a weird feeling from, you go and sell 10, 15, 20K a day. You have all this dopamine to managing whatever, a $25, $26 million downline. And you don't have that. Like you don't see the immediate results. Right now it's total. It was the best thing I've ever done, right? We had 250 people come and work with us. It was like I received calls and text messages every day thanking me for like what we did this summer. But like in the middle of it, dude, it's like like this is hard. It's just different. So,
because you went into this last summer being like, yeah, I'm just gonna do 1.5 again. Like, was that kind of like the vision going into this last summer, or?
The vision was like, I'm just gonna go and do whatever is best for my people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was like the vision was like, there was no goal going into this upcoming summer. It was like,
whatever makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just going to go and do whatever is best. And I'm going to recruit during the summer. I'm going to do calls throughout the entire summer. I'm going to shadow and I'm going to help train guys throughout the whole summer. I'm going to help guys go from 400K to 600K. That was like the vision was like totally grooming and inspiring the next generation of leaders. So this upcoming summer, we could go from, the goal of this upcoming summer is to go do 50 million. And so double again. Mm-hmm. And so if we want to go do that, dude, we can't just, grow like that, we've got to have leaders where we can put guys in, you know. So that was the vision this year.
Yeah. And then a lot of things were thrown at you this last summer.
Yeah.
Like a lot of unexpected things. Like what were some of those things?
Let's see. I sold in Portland. That was like amazing. It was actually nuts, dude. I would knock from, I would shadow until 5 o'clock, and then from 5 until dark, I would knock.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like if you look at the data, dude, the first week I sold 56K doing that. The second week I sold 46K. This third week I sold like 48K. Like it was nuts. Like I remember being like, dude, this is crazy. Like I am so good. I can go and sell like 9 or 10 accounts after 5 p.m. Like I remember feeling that way. Like I felt like a superhero, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The third week or whatever it was, fourth or fifth week, I sold 30K while shadowing and helping and recruiting and all these things. And then out of nowhere, dude, we recruited this pretty large team from EcoShield, and I had to move down to California. And I remember we called the marketing or the company we were going to market for, White Knight, and we showed up, dude, and there was one technician truck, and I showed up with 103 sales reps. So,
I didn't even know that. That's insane.
Yeah, so I showed up with 103 sales reps. There's
so 50 of them were from EcoShield, and then you
about 50,
and then you brought your team from Portland.
Jackson Curtis's team from College Station came up. And so, like, out of nowhere, dude, we were booking out, right, a week, 2 weeks. Like, it was insane. Like, I had guys driving to Arizona, picking up trucks. We had White Knight driving trucks from Texas up there, and we were ripping, dude. Like, those guys got there, and all of them PR'd the first week. Literally all of them PR'd. Like, it was insane. And so that was way hard, like, you know, managing 100-man team. That was hard. Like, it was way different. So, but I'm way grateful for it.
Yeah. And then now going forward, you still have a team. So what's your downline again? You said
we did 25 mil.
And then 50 mil going forward.
That will be the goal this year. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Nuts.
That's insane. Now, as far as like, we talk about winning and a lot, like, talk to me just about winning, just period. But as well, I want to preface this. This is a question I wanted to talk to you about. Before the summer, there's so many guys posting on social media, so many guys chatting about their goals publicly and talking about it. And there's like this dopamine effect pre-summer of like, people almost get more dopamine talking about what they're going to do. And then the summer rolls around, there's so many guys that are like, hey, like hit midsummer, like, you know, maybe that's not it, and it kind of dies off. Why is that? And talk to me about winning and just in general that.
I think, right, like talking about it fires people up, right? And they know what they want. Like so many guys, dude, they know what they want. They want to Golden Door, right? And a lot of guys know like what it actually is going to cost to Golden Door. Like they know, dude, to Golden Door, they're going to have to knock all day Saturday. They know they might have to knock some Sundays. Like they know, like, in order to Golden Door, they might not be able to go to every morning meeting. Like, you know, there's a lot of things they're going to have to sacrifice, and they understand that. But, like, what a lot of guys aren't down to do is, like, to pay the price. And so, like, that's where you have to get very clear with, like, your goals. You have to, right, every year I write down, what do I want? What does it cost? And am I down? Like, am I actually down to, like, pay the price? Because if I am, dude, like, I'm going to be able to do it. But there's a lot of guys out there, dude, who, like, when, right, the rubber hits the road, they're not down. And that's why you see, right, we talk about the ramp and how at Grit guys get better and better and better throughout the summer, where at other companies and in the industry, what typically happens is guys start out way hot. Like, dude, guys sell so well, and then boom, in like August, dude, there's not even teams out there. Like, I remember being in California, dude, and like almost all the teams were gone in August. And it was like amazing for us because we were ripping and all of the teams weren't there anymore. Mm-hmm. So anyways, that's what I think happens.
Yeah, people just don't really understand, and they don't want to do it.
Yeah, they understand it. They just don't want to pay the price. Like, they're not down to actually do it. Yeah. Like, dude, the year, right, to walk you through, like, what did I want the year I sold 1,000 accounts, right? I wanted to sell 1,000 accounts, and I wanted to prove Cody Olive wrong. Like, that was like the driving
What
force.
happened there? I've heard about that. Like,
He and like, dude, I'm so grateful for Cody that he did this, and he
Yeah.
did this like intentionally. But like back then, dude, I didn't know, right? I'm a 20-year-old,
yeah.
and he intentionally was basically was like, yeah, Zach can't sell 1,000 accounts. Zach won't be top 10. He won't even be top 10 sophomores, and that was like fired me up, dude. I was like, I'm gonna go beat Cody Olive, and Cody Olive sold 1,700 accounts that summer that I came home from. Like my rookie summer, I sold 400 accounts. He sold 1,700. So like for me to be like that delusional, that ambitious, that like just crazy, like dude, think about it, like a sophomore telling you you're gonna go and beat Zach Seager. It's like, all right, right? Like I literally was telling everyone, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go beat Cody Olive. Watch me. And like that was like the driving force that summer. And so, anyways, now I've totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, lost where I was going.
No, you're good. But that Cody Olive story is dope because like no one like hears about that as much as they should.
So I remember texting Cody all summer being like, dude, I'm beating you. Like catch up. And it was fun, dude. So
he's fun to trash talk with. When I was on the
Yeah.
competition day with him, I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah.
Just fired me right.
I love Cody, dude. I'm
He's
way
such
grateful for him.
Yeah, and we're gonna have him come on the podcast. But
He's a stud.
now for you, what separates great with good? What's the separating factor, do you think, for you? And it doesn't even have to be sales, just like what you think.
Great from good, dude. I think literally the only difference is just discipline. Like if guys were more disciplined, dude, they'd be great. Like actually, like I look at my guys out in California and they're so like I'm so proud of them because they are so disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Like every day, dude, they send like check marks or like green messages to like the group chat that they're in after they message 30 people and after they go and shoulder tap and like cold contact people. And like they are so disciplined and they have schedules and they have morning routines. And I can totally see their entire lives changing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
Or I look at Lawyer Driggs, right, who switched from another company and only did about 120K with them. And with us,
same as my company.
Yeah, he did 650K with us. Like, I'm so proud of Lawyer, dude, because of like that transition. And like, dude, he didn't like change anything crazy. He just got better systems and got more disciplined, and that was it. Like, so that's literally the only difference between good reps. Dude, there's really good reps that sell 3, 4, even 500K.
Which is amazing.
It's like, a lot, dude. They make $100,000, $200,000. Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
$300,000, right? And then there's great reps who sell 650, 750, right? Even great would be $1 million. Like that's a great rep, right? And so the only difference is just they're disciplined and they like a good rep, right? Will take if he's at, let's say 40 on the week, it's like, oh, dude, I'm good. Like, I can take Saturday. I can get off the door Saturday at 4. Where, like, a great rep, dude, if he's at, let's say he's at 60 on the week and he's past what he needs to be at,
Mm-hmm.
dude, he'll just be like, oh, dude, I'm going to go and capitalize now. And, like, I'm going to go and collect. And I'm going to get ahead of my goal. And now I'm going to finish at 80 accounts. And that's, like, the way they think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then I want to hear, like, about, like, the 13 kind of laws of winning, but as well as, like those difference between cleaners, closers, and kind of the 3 kind of types of people. But I also want to talk to you about like maybe a little bit more of a vulnerable topic of like, yeah, people see, you as like kind of like a winner, a little bit hard-nosed, like
Totally.
very disciplined, very like really like Michael Jordan in a sense.
Yeah.
And maybe people don't see the other side of like the weak moments and the times when you're alone. And do you feel like what are some of the weaker moments in your life or maybe in the last few years that people maybe don't see?
Let's think, dude. And I think I said this like when I was a rookie, dude. Like one of the biggest blessings in my life, dude, I think I've been blessed like not to overthink. Like in a really weird way, dude, I don't think that much. And so, like, I don't get into, like, these rat holes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of, like, hard moments in my life, right? I think, right, like, that was hard for me. Like, really hard transitioning from selling 1.5 to, like, not being the guy.
Uh-huh.
And, like, not going out and selling and ripping every day. That was hard.
What was hard about that?
It's almost a feeling you can't describe, right? Like you go from being the guy to not being the guy at all, right? And you step into this new role of becoming a leader for your program. And it's just weird, dude. And I think it made me realize how important, like, just leading from the front is. And, like, how sacred that is. Like, if I was to redo it, dude, if I was to go back, I wouldn't have done what I did. But, like, now I know that, right? Like, it's a learning experience. And now, like, moving forward, like, I will always lead from the front, and I will always lead in charge if I can, right? Depending on time and all the things. And this year I did, to the best of my abilities, right? In the situation I was in with one truck and 103 sales reps, like, that was not ideal, right?
Yeah.
But, and we by the end, dude, we got enough technicians and we got enough trucks and all the things.
You figured it out, yeah.
I think, right, if I was to give any advice on leadership, it would just be, dude, go and lead. Like, be a real-ass leader. Go and grind. Go be the George, right? When I think of a leader, I think of George Washington crossing the Delaware, and he's on the front of the boat, dude. Like, he's right there in the front, ready to go. Like, he's the first one getting off onto the Delaware side and ready to charge. So that's what I think, at least.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's so American of you, the George Washington thing. The election's been crazy for me as a Canadian. I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
What's going on here, dude?
It's insane. Now, for you, I guess, like, going forward, what's kind of, like, your vision going forward? Like, what's your dream? Like, I mean, we could talk dream as revenue, all we want, downlines and stuff. But, like, where do you want to be 10 years from now?
Dude, I think that's a way good question. In 10 years, dude, I want to still be at Grit. Like, I think I joke about it with my wife and with my friends, right? But, like, I find so much progression. I find, right, like Casey says, it's a spiritual game for me at this point, dude. I'm impacting thousands of lives. Dude, at this point, thousands of people have come through my program and worked with me. And it's fun, dude. Like, I don't ever feel like, last night, dude, I was at the office till 9:30 at night and didn't check my phone from 9 a.m. till 9:30. And it was like, because I was in back-to-back meetings. And, like, dude, that's fun. That's exciting. So I'm going to keep going, like, keep sprinting, keep helping, keep impacting, keep changing people's lives. And that's where I see myself in 10 years.
Do you think about money?
No. Like, to an extent, right?
Yeah.
You have hopes and dreams with money, but no. Like, I've never actually once been like, cool, how much should I make in overrides? Or how much should I make off Adam Clark? It's like, I've never done that. Because, like, it's never been about the money. It's always been about, how do I go and create the most value? And if I create the most value, then I'll get paid accordingly, if that makes sense.
Isn't that crazy? The guys that make, and this is what I'm learning very quickly, is the guys that make the most money are the guys that don't talk about money.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't.
Like, I never been at a Grit meeting. I've never been where it's like the premise of the meeting, the premise of the culture is like, we're going to get you rich. And you're going to be like, it's more of like, no, we're going to win and be the best. And a byproduct of being the best is you're just going to get paid. And it's going to come.
Yeah, dude. I've actually, like, now that I think about it, I've never actually cared about how much I'm making, if that makes sense. I've always cared more about winning. And I know if I win.
That's so dope, because
right?
That's winning. That's like, that's what winners do, is that's the mentality. And I've never met a winner where that's their vision is money and how much they want to make. Like, I was talking to a guy the other day, and he just couldn't stop talking about commission. He just wanted to, the commission, dude, of this one company. It's just so much I'm gonna make, Wayne, and I just couldn't. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Getting into, I guess, just money and winning, and like the dividing factor with that.
I think, right, especially being here in Utah, dude, it's been weird. Like, for me to go to California in May and then just be detached, because what I was doing in California is I was just recruiting, like full-time recruiting throughout the whole summer. Like, that's what I did. And, like, was growing the California brand and the program and so forth. And so, for me, dude, it's been really weird, like, coming back to Utah. Like, the other night, dude, I'm meeting with this kid, and he's meeting with a bunch of companies. And I think we all know this company, but like the company goes, yeah, dude, go meet around with everybody. We'll match your best deal and we'll give you a $5,000 sign on. And it's a rookie who's never sold door to door ever.
Oh, and he's thinking $5,000. That's half a normal summer job.
Yeah, it's just crazy, dude. For me to like, cause right, totally stepped out of like the Utah scene. Like when I'm running recruiting meetings in California, dude, those are way different than the Utah meetings. Like
They're learning about door to door.
They don't even know what door to door is. Where like in Utah, they're like, oh yeah, dude, I've met with Hawks Point, Aptive, Moxie, Grit.
My cousin sells at there. My uncle sells at
Sunrun, all the things, right? And so it's been really weird, dude, for me to like come and step back into the door to door scene in Utah, and I just like joke about it. Like I remember after meeting with that kid who's 19 years old, who has zero door to door experience, and he's trying to like leverage me, even though we do standardized pay. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like you can leave if you want. Like I don't care. Like this is what we're about. We are not about like the high commissions. And our guys, dude, they make more than anyone else in the entire industry, but we don't pay the most. And like that's a fact. Like if you were to like actually open up the books and look at like what we do and what our guys make, dude, they make so much, but we don't have the highest commissions. And so we'll tell kids that like, dude, if you want to go get the high deals, go. Yeah, I've got the numbers. Like I can give you this recruiter, this recruiter, this recruiter. He's my homie. He'll hook you up. But like we're not about that.
Yeah. And it's so interesting that no one else in the industry that I know of has been like third party come in, verify the numbers.
Yeah, with door-to-door experts, it's been amazing, dude. It's been so relieving for me, right? When you grow a big program, I don't ever have to tell white lies to my guys. I can open up the books. I can show them everything. I can show them what everyone's getting paid. I can show them every single deal in the company. That's been like such a beautiful blessing for me. Like I try and put myself in a position of other recruiters and like their guys coming to them and them lying to their reps. Like I don't think I could do that. Cause like, dude, after a while you start to become like really good friends with your reps. Like, dude, Lawyer Driggs is one of my best buds. Mm-hmm. Adam Clark, who wasn't even in my office this summer, but we ran New Jersey together. He's like one of my best friends. Like I can't even imagine trying to lie to Adam. Like that'd break my heart. Like it's just, I feel bad sometimes, dude, for other recruiters. Cause that's like their system. That's what they've been built upon. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously the premise of the podcast isn't even talk about the grit, but it's interesting, like both being in it and we can relate. And it's hard to even, once you join, for me, it's hard to even imagine working for another company. And it's not that the other companies are bad. It's not, but like after you experience it, there's a reason why people, it's a reason why people are like, the grit's kind of like culty. It kind of has, there's a reason why people are so bought in. And so for you, what makes people even see a company, and this is just general, not just door to door, but what makes people like not join the grit or not want to be a winner? Like in your opinion, what is it, do you think?
It's safe. Like last night I did a 2-hour meeting with this kid, and the biggest objection was like, it's risky. It's like, well, what do you mean it's risky? Like, let's go through it. And so we start going through it, right? And I'm like, cool, is the leadership better or worse here? Well, obviously it's better. Okay, is the culture better or worse? And we go through it, right? All these things. And I'm like, cool, where is the risk? Mm-hmm. And I say, I'm like, dude, the only risk for you is the pay. And like, that's it. Because you got to go and earn it. And like, that is risky for you. Like, that is uncomfortable for you to like go and actually work for something you should be paid. Like, that is what you're afraid of. Don't do that, dude. Like, rely on us, rely on our systems, and we're going to get you where you want to go. But like, that's the biggest reason from what I've started to see coming back, right? Because like, I think before I was just so tunnel vision in the Utah scene, where like now I've been a little bit detached with this California mm-hmm. group. Now, dude, I think I have seen this, like, it's just crazy, dude. Like, if you can actually just have the right systems in place, you're not going to fail, period. Like morning routines, if you have the right morning routine, you won't fail. But mm-hmm. like if you don't have the right morning routine, you're going to fail every day of the week. Like mm-hmm. if your phone's on your bed, you're just going to hit snooze and fall right back to sleep. Mm-hmm. Where if your phone's in the other room and like the only option is for you to get up out of bed, walk to the other room and turn it off, well, like, dude, you're going to win. Like, Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, if your gym clothes are laid out the night before and everything is ready for you to wake up and go, then you're ready.
Yeah.
Like there's no shot of you failing. And it's the same thing when you're selling, dude. If you're selling with elite sales reps and you're around an elite culture, dude, you're not going to fail. Like you're going to rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure. Do you think there's like a sense of entitlement in the door-to-door space right now?
I don't know, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
He's just so, it's so dope talking to you because you're just like, you know, like
Yeah.
it's not a sense of like, you don't think about things so much and it's just you do your thing.
Yeah, just cruise, do my thing, work with my people. If guys want to work with us, amazing. If they don't, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like dude, there's guys, I'm their biggest cheerleader. Like I cheer people on at other companies and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So I've started to realize, dude, over the last probably 8 or 9 months, how important relationships are. Because like at some point, dude, your paths are going to cross. Like at some point they will, and your reputation is everything. And so like if you have a bad reputation, dude, it's not going to be healthy for you.
Yeah.
So
So when have you kind of made that big transition from being it's me, my guys are in Texas, Ben's taking over, I'm doing 1,000 accounts, it's all me, to transitioning to it's not just me? Like when did that kind of click for you?
after my second summer, so going into my third summer, it was like, oh shit, like this is not about me. Like we had 50. Let's see, my first year we had 0 guys. Second year I had 14, 15. And then my third year we had like almost 50 reps. And it was like, oh wow, like this is not about me. Like this is totally about my people. And if I want my people to succeed, I have to go out and hit my goals. Because if I hit my goals, then my people will hit theirs. So that's when it started to click.
And then do you feel like your abundance, like do you feel like you've become more abundant transitioning into more of a leadership like role? Do you feel like it's more abundant your life?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's always good to be abundant rather than being scarce, is what I've started to realize. So the more abundant you can be overall, dude, the better your life will be.
Yeah.
So it is a weird concept though. Like,
yeah. Cause like even for me, that's kind of the transition that I'm making is, okay, this last summer was about me. I needed to prove and do that and show that I could. And that I, despite circumstances, moving markets, health challenges, that I can do that.
Right.
But now it's the transition of like becoming more of like okay, now it's about training someone to do what I did.
Yep. That's the funnest thing, dude.
And I think
is
a lot of
so
reps
fun
don't
doing that.
realize that is the best part of the job is actually being a leader as opposed to just being a ripper.
Oh, it's the best thing ever, dude. Like you have somebody who comes into your program like yourself, dude. Like you came into Brock's program, Brock trained you. Brock, I'm sure he did so much for you, right? Like and I don't even work with Brock, but I can get emotional talking about him because like of how much he's done for me. Like if I was to go on this, I don't even want to, but like if I was to go on this rampage of Drew Hansen, dude, I would tear up and like we'd get way emotional because like he has totally changed my entire life. And I'm sure that's how you feel about Brock and Skylar and so forth because like, dude, your life is different now. Like Adam Clark, dude, the way he talks about me is so different than anyone else because his life it's totally different. The way Lawyer talks about me is totally different than how others talk about me because like his life has totally changed. And that feeling is amazing, dude. Like that feeling of, right, hugging one of your boys after he goes and accomplishes something so hard, that is the best feeling ever. Adam, dude, the year I did 1.5 and Adam hugging me and tearing up, that was that feeling right there was way better than me doing 1.5. Way better, dude. The year this year, we recruited this kid named Ev and dude, he won a Golden Door with us. And like midsummer, he switched from his other company. And like that feeling, dude, I'll never forget. I pulled up on him in Hood when he hit his Golden Door and like I started tearing up, dude, because he was so happy. Like he was so excited. He's like a kid in a candy store. And we've got his gold painted door and all the things. And that feeling's amazing, dude.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you mentioned the word sacred.
Yeah.
That's where it applies. And I remember going to a meeting before I joined the Grit and being like, Drew was throwing out the word sacred. I was like, sacred? Like, that's where becomes a sacred experience of like.
It's romantic, dude. That's what it is. Like, I've started to talk about it in a way different way over the last probably 3-4 weeks. Like, dude, this job is romantic. Like, the fact that I get to recruit somebody like Jackson Curtis, who was not in the best position at 18 years old. He came out with me his rookie summer, sold $400K, made almost $200,000. Now he runs like a $10 million program and is like totally the guy of California. Like, that is amazing, dude. He's won Golden Doors. He's done all the things perfectly right. Like, that feeling is the best feeling ever, dude.
Yeah, that
Doesn't matter, dude. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to be known as the Golden Door guy. Like, I don't want to be known as like the GOAT. I don't care. Like, what's fun, dude, what's exciting is changing people's lives.
Which has probably changed in the last couple of years of not wanting to be known as the GOAT to transition.
Totally. Yeah. At the beginning, right, you want to be known for the best. Like, you want
to walk in the room, he's like, he is the man.
He's the guy, dude. But, like, I don't care anymore. Like, I could care less. Like, I don't want to, in 10 years from now, if you were to say, who is Zach Seager, I hope people don't say, oh, he's the GOAT. Like, I really do hope so. Like,
that's cool.
If that is what happens, dude, I've failed. Totally have failed. Like, I hope in 10 years from now, people are like, oh, dude, Zach Seager, dude, he totally changed my life. And they start tearing up and they get emotional. That's like, that's how I talk about John. Like, John Taylor has totally changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, so, totally changed my life.
That's so sick. And this is probably one of the last questions, the second last question that I'm going to ask you. And this is probably a weird thought. But let's say you were to die today and someone were your closest friend, or your dad, or someone that you would want speaking at your funeral. What would you want? What are the certain exact things you would want them to say about Zach Seager?
Let's see. I'd want them to say he's a force for good. He's kind. He's a winner. And I would want him to say, like, dude, he is one of the most positive and joyful, energetic individuals I've ever been around. That's what I'd want.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's so cool. It's a weird question. It's a weird thing to think about.
It is, bro.
I think about it all the time of, like, if I were to die today, what would I want said at my funeral? And I think those things are perfect. So to wrap up, I guess, the episode, the name of the podcast is Grit and Grace. And I always want to be clear, like, it was before I joined the Grit. Like, that's my favorite 2 words.
Yeah.
It's like ingrained, is those 2 words. If you were to describe Grit and Grace when you hear those 2 words, how would you describe it?
Grit, unforgiving, grindy, tenacious, hard-ass work. Grace, loving, kind individual who wants to help other people. That's how I would describe it.
And then when you pull those together, you got the best.
The best of both worlds, dude.
You got the best person probably that you can really create. So,
yep.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on, taking your time.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Like, I really do. I appreciate people like you.
Proud of you, dude.
And even though you're not, like, in my org or you're not my, like, I look up to you and I really admire people like you, and especially you individually. So thanks for coming on, and that's a wrap for this podcast.